sitting here on our new Cobia 280cc that we introduced in the winter of 2019. This boat is built on the same platform as our Cobia 277cc, which was the most popular 28-footer in the country. Well, that is an exceptional boat, but we knew we could even do better. So what we've done is we've taken everything from the 277, the superb running performance, the great blend of fishing smarts and creature comforts, and then the fit and finish, and then we've added to that with some really nice touches. So if you'll spend a few minutes with me, I'd like to take you through the whole boat. So one of the things that's made this boat really popular is just that combination of great creature comforts and fishing smarts, and this is evidence of that. And I'll show you. First off, you have this full seating just like this, so you have this wraparound seating. Very comfortable. I'm standing right now on top of a flush table that sinks into the floor. I will talk about that in a little bit. But this is really a great feature and something that a lot of people forget about. First off, so we have this U-shaped seating, so it finishes this out very nicely. But this is easily removable. I've unclipped the clips below that allow that to be removed. And that's important because it allows me to get all the way to the front here. And there's a number of times in your fishing day or a day out on the boat where it's really nice to be able to do this. First off, it allows you to get into your anchor very easily. Your windlass setup allows you to get to your cleats very easily. Also your bow light. So if you're around the dock or that kind of stuff and you're trying to tie up, you're not having to crawl over all the cushions or anything like that. I'm all fully forward. I can easily operate up here just like this. So that's a really nice touch. Speaking of the anchor locker, okay, big lid, friction hinges, opens up, stays up. It's a nice wide opening, so it's easy to get in here. We have our windlass option on this boat. That can be upgraded with the stainless anchor and the 300 feet of chain. Also with that option, which is a really nice feature, it comes with a raw water washdown. So that when you bring all that gear back on board, you can just spray it down and get all that gunk off. You're not bringing mud on board. All right, so we close that up. Talk about the hardware a second. Big oversized 8-inch flush mounted cleats, so they stay down out of the way. These are 3/16 stainless steel, just like all the stainless hardware on the boat. They're big enough to put 2 ropes on. That's important. A lot of times when you're mooring up or at the dock, it's really nice to be able to put two ropes on it. When we step back, this particular boat has our Kite Rod Holder feature right here. That's an option, so you have 2 gunnel rod holders on either side. We'll have plenty more gunnel rod holders on the back. I'll talk about that. Any place we're having seating, we're putting in cup holders so that you can never be that far away from your drink. But just a really nice layout up here. So I was talking about creature comforts, and you can see them right here on this optional bow cushion set with the optional backrest pieces in here. So these cushions, these are obviously our gray and white package. You can also get them in white. You can get them in a 2-tone tan. You can get them in a tricolor cream brulee. The cushions are, as you can see, very elegant, very nice, super comfortable. They're very durable as well, which is really important. Double stitched. Also have the antimicrobial vinyl upholstery on there, so they're going to resist mildew and peaking. So very nice cushion package and super comfortable. All you have to do to get this backrest in place is pull it over here, lay out. It's just an excellent place to sit and ride forward and check things out and sit up here. It's super comfortable, wide enough where I feel very secure up here. So if you're a boater or have spent any time on boats at all, you realize how important storage is, and it's something that we take very seriously at Cobia. And it starts right up here in the bow. First off, we have these nice big lockers forward here. Notice how I can lift up this lid without having to remove the cushion. That's because we smartly put this latch on the side here. But you have a big opening. This is a big compartment. Both of these are actually insulated and drain overboard, so you could use them as coolers as well. But just a great space. You have every compartment's going to have that big gasket on it, so it keeps things nice and dry in there. But there's no doubting that storage space is critically important on a boat, and we have a ton of it here. So we have more bow storage up here on the floor, and this is a great use of space. Pull it up. Once again, it's on those friction hinges. Lid comes up very easily, stays up. That's important because especially as the bigger the lid is, it's more important that it stays up so it doesn't fall on you if you're in there working on something or getting something out. This is a nice big opening. I love this box because it's an absolute perfect place to put PFDs, that kind of stuff, and it's completely out of the way. You have the nice big lid truss, as you'll see as we go through all the storage box. Oversized drains that evacuate that water in it very well. So you have water on the deck, comes in, gets caught in the trough, goes back to the drain and evacuates. The gaskets never allow that water to get over into the compartment. And then when you close the lid with these nice latches here that shore down, keeps everything nice and tight, completely sealed. So all your contents always stay dry. So what you probably haven't noticed while I've been going through this whole bow area is that I'm actually standing on a table, and that table flushes into the floor and it raises electronically, and that's super easy to do. All you have to do is press this button here, and here it emerges from the floor. So now we've raised the table, put the cushion on it, and you can see here it creates a great sun lounge area here. Combination with the backrest, you can stretch out. You have multiple people up here. Two people sitting like this, one person sitting back. But just a great cushioned area, super comfortable, and a great place to just sit up here and take in the sun. And then what you can do as well is continue to raise that table, take the cushion off, and it'll come up here and be a great picnic table for having lunch or cocktails on the water. But just a really ingenious setup up here that does many things very well. So the change that was made that effectively warranted us calling this boat the 280 is the console setup, which is a really, really great upgrade. What we've done here is we've redesigned the whole console, added a number of great features. But first off, you can see we've created it so that you can build in this great hardtop frame here that sits in here very nicely. So it opens up more space on the floor. You don't have those hardtop legs going down in the floor, so you've created more cockpit room. But it's really elegant looking piece, very nice, structurally very sound. All right. It also allows us to put in this patent pending polished hardened acrylic windshield, which is a very nice feature. That's an option. You can also just do it without this as well and just have your regular smaller windshield. But you can see with the acrylic windshield here, you have a nice wiper, you have the electric vent up top. It does a great job of keeping you out of the elements, but also looks very clean and is very strong, like I said. So continuing on the console, obviously it's completely redesigned. There are tons of great things to talk about here. First off, you have this really nice seating up forward here. It's nice and contoured, it's very comfortable. Has a great elegant look to it, but at the same time, super comfortable. Underneath the bottom cushion here, the 62 quart cooler is insulated, so it'll keep plenty of ice and drinks and a day's worth of food cold. And all that does to screw down is drop like that. Now to get in the head, this is really nice. All you have to do is unsecure that latch. You can see how easily that door opened up for me. That's because it's supported by a big gas shock in here and oversized hinges. So yeah, this great big, very heavy duty door, but it opens up really nice and easily. It's a great big opening to get down in here. You can walk down here using the steps, obviously. That's something that's unique to a boat that has a forward-facing door like this, as opposed to a door on the side of the console. Door on the side of the console, you can only use the width of the console for your steps, so you're not going to have many steps. You're going to have a big, long drop in there, and you're going to have a narrow door. With this setup here, with the door facing forward, you achieve this wide opening. You use the length of the console for these steps. It's very easy to get in and out of here. You'll see as I walk down. Got about 6 feet of headroom in here, so very comfortable. The boat comes standard with electric China head that's macerated. Very nice feature there. You can see on the floor here, we've had the sea deck added. That's an accent piece. You can match that up to your cushion packages and your gel coat. We have a couple different options there. We have the freshwater sink in here with a pull-out shower. That's tied to the 25-gallon freshwater tank. That's a great setup. You can use right there, either just as to wash your hands or do a full shower. It'll drain right out. You have great access to the back of your dash panel and switches right here. You have fuse blocks here. Those are believed like for the stereo. You have the back side of your switch panel right here. So everything is very accessible. All right, we can close that up. That's easy, and that secures nicely, just like that. Over here, you have your breaker panel for your switch panel. So everything is very well labeled. If you have a problem with one of your accessories, you think you might have blown a fuse, all you have to do is go in here and reset that breaker by pressing that button. So it's feature packed in here. A lot of very useful things, and also a lot of creature comforts and elegance as well. So I'm back here behind the helm now. And there are a number of things to note here, but one thing I think is really important is the fact that these great cushions here are completely independent, so they can be adjusted to each person's comfort level, and they can be slid back and forth. As you can see, that's easy to do just like that. You can drop a bolster here, so you can use it in a leaning post setup, which I have sort of here, where you kick back like this, or you drop the forward bolster. Now you can hop in it, up into it like this, where it's nice and comfortable and pulled back. That's super comfortable. I can drop this footrest here, and this works great as a great place just to drop your feet. I have my armrest down, which is also convertible as well. So a lot of different ways you can set all this up, and you can set it up to the passenger and to the driver, which is really nice. So some other things we really focused on when we redesigned this console is we wanted to add more storage, and that's really important around the helm area, because you always have stuff that you want to reach easily around this area, and just need places to put things like keys and cell phones and wallets. So we made this great little cubby up top here, all right? And this is all lockable stuff, so you can keep your stuff in here, maybe, you know, go to the fuel dock or whatever, leave it in here, not make sure it's secure. They're all gasketed, so they'll stay nice and dry, but we got that great cubby here. Another super good cubby here. Close that up. And then another great spot right here. This is just a great place for if you're something you want to get to really easily, like a cell phone or sunscreen or that kind of stuff. We also have storage up in the great hardtop up here, fore and aft. So there's never going to be anything that you're not going to find a great place for. It's always great to have things stored away instead of things out that are sliding around or falling on the deck or something like that. So plenty of storage space here. Another thing we focused on really on this console was ergonomics. And what I mean by that is ease of use. And if you see here, as I sit here in front of the helm station area, how easy it is for me to get on the steering wheel, get on the throttles, adjust the trim tabs. There's no awkward reaches. I've always got it able to be focused clearly ahead of me, all right? In this particular package, they chose the Master Electronic Suite with the black dash. It comes with a 12-inch unit, comes with a VHF Garmin, also the JL audio speaker system. I'll talk about that in a minute. If you don't go with the black dash, you can set this up and do a la carte, where you could do dual 12-inch units or a single 16-inch unit. There are a bunch of different options there. But it's a really nice layout here. Like I said, everything is very visible. You have the nice dash panel down here. Everything is labeled well. You know exactly what's turning on what. But very, very, very comfortable. It does come standard with the tilt hydraulic helm. So once again, that's another adjustment that can be made depending on the driver's side and preference. That's easy to do. And then you have cup holders up here, which you never can have enough cup holders. But great layout, very functional and very stylish at the same time, and just makes operating the boat a whole lot easier and a joy, and also safe. As boaters at Cobia, one thing we take really a lot of pride in and we think is very important is ease of access and ease of maintenance of the boats. And this is evident here by this battery storage compartment under these helm seats. A number of things to note in here, but first off, see how easy it is to get to these batteries. Second, these batteries are in a great dry spot as opposed to maybe back in the bilge or something like that where they're going to corrode. This door actually is on two take apart hinges, so it pulls out, so it allows even better access to be able to get in here, do any kind of maintenance you need. All the wiring harnesses are labeled, so they're labeled for each battery, labeled for every single component on the boat. We build all the wiring harnesses in-house. They're unique to every single model. Just a great access point that makes maintenance very, very easy. Here's another smart use of space, and this is for maintenance and access, is this battery switch panel here. We have independent batteries, or independent switches for every single battery, so each engine. Also have a house battery here, and also a switch where you can do emergency parallel for whatever reason you need to pull off another battery to start an engine. So it's a great setup here. It's very accessible. It's easy to understand. You have your major breakers in here and fuses as well. Like this is where the fuse would for the windlass would be, or that sort of thing. But once again, easy to reach, close by, stays nice and out of the way, but is very accessible. So as we get back here to the back of the boat, I want to keep on that focus of adjustability. As we talk through the whole boat, I've sort of shown how things can be changed and modified depending upon your preferences, your taste, and what you're doing for the day. And it's no different back here in the back end of the boat. And this part of the boat is really important because obviously this is where you're going to be doing a lot of your fishing and that kind of stuff. So right now we have it sort of in cruise mode. And this great back seat pulled out, super comfortable, nice and deep. So you're well supported all the way through your legs. Nice, great backrest here. And it's really comfortable, and it pulls out very easily, and it goes back very easily. You can see right here, that's all it takes to do it. A lot of times in a lot of other boats, it'll take 2 people to pull that out, but you saw how easy that was. You can remove the backrest very easily as well. It has arms that swivel on the back of it, so it can be stowed forward and completely out of the way. But now I've gone from basically cruising mode into full fishing mode. So now I have the back seat stowed. I've taken off the backrest. I'd be in what I'd call the fishing mode here. But first thing to notice is just how spacious this room, this area is. The boat has a beam of 9 feet 8 inches, and you get to utilize that whole beam area back here. Also, you have a bunch of width here from your tackle station area all the way to your back end. So plenty of space back here for multiple people to be fishing, people to get around very easily and not get in each other's way. The boat comes standard with a 42-gallon live well here with this nice acrylic lid. The acrylic lid is really nice because it's clear, so you can see in and check on your baits and make sure they're doing all right. It has a nice blue finish in it that calms the baits. But a great fishing setup here, and if you'll spend some more time as I walk around with me, I want to go through this entire area. So this boat is 27 feet 7 inches, and it does a really good job of using all that space. And like we were just talking about, it allows for a lot more room back here in the back end. And one thing that we've done is we put covering boards here, so it's like a lot of bigger offshore boats. So it allows you under gunnel rod storage here. And this under gunnel rod storage actually works. You look at a lot of boats and it doesn't work very well at all. But this has a nice long area here, very easy to get your rods in. They're stowed up under here, so they're out of the way. Even the handles are going to be out of the way, so you're not kicking the handles, that sort of stuff. What's also nice about these covering boards is it allows you to get under here and lock in and get a straight pull on a fish that's digging for the bottom. That's important. Really nice setup, and it's a feature that is certainly important on a hardcore fishing boat. Another thing that's important on a hardcore fishing boat is the fish boxes. And we take a lot of pride in our fish boxes, okay? So important things to note about fish boxes. A lot of these things are overlooked in a lot of designs. First off, obviously it makes sense that you want them towards the back end of the boat, okay? This is where you're going to be doing your fishing. This is where you're going to be landing your fish. There's some designs that have put them up in the front of the boat, even on steps up in front of the boat. I don't think that's a wise move. You want them right where you're going to be gaffing the fish. You want big wide openings, as you can see here. You want a lid that stays up with the friction hinges like I talk about. That way you gaff the fish, you have a big 25-pound dolphin, something like that, it's writhing around on the gaff. You can dump it right in here very easily. You can close the lid very easily. You don't have multiple latches here that you have to secure or anything like that. Also, you want big lid, deep lid troughs. That way, if you have any detergent on the deck or anything like that, it's not going to get into your fish box and soil your fish. You want big oversized drains, so make sure you evacuate any of that water or anything that gets in those troughs there. This boat has 2 fish boxes. They're on either side here. They're both 47 gallons. They're mass rated, so they pump overboard. They're well insulated. They hold ice very, very well. This is absolutely the best fish box that you're going to find on a 28-foot center console. Another thing that's really important when you're fishing is having things at the ready, and that means having things close by when there's a lot of action. And we accomplish this a number of ways here on this boat. First off, on the Hardtop Rod Racks, okay? So this is standard on the boat. You have 5 rod holders here. You have the Kingfish rod holders that are optional. A really nice optional feature also is this rod rack for this helm seating area here. You can add 4 more rods in here. You have the cup holders, but all the rods right at the ready. You have 8 standard gunnel rod holders, which are really nice. So plenty of places to put rods, and also plenty of places for your tackle. You have these storage joys back here. Great place for pliers, terminal, tackle, any of that kind of stuff. Leaders, weights, 2 of those there. And a Plano box right here. This is something that's really important. It's just an absolute hassle to have your gear in bags and have to go dig through your bag every time and get your gear out, and then you have no place to put it and you have to put it back in the bag and things get cluttered. With all this setup like this, all this storage space, you can keep it super clean, but you can have everything right at the ready, which is exactly the way you want it. Cobias have become known for their hard tops, and I think if you look at this, it's pretty easy to see why. It does just an excellent job of melding form and function. You have your aft facing spreader lights, you have down lighting that is multiple hued, you have your inset speakers here. These are the JL speakers that come with the hard top assembly. If you get that option, you have 4 speakers, 2 in the aft, 2 forward. Tons of storage with your aft storage box here and your forward storage box here. This particular person opted for the white powder coating. We also offer it in black, matte black, and gray. Also, you can two-tone it, as this person has here, with the gray underneath. And one thing I didn't touch on, you can also two-tone your helm insert. You can two-tone your leaning post tackle station. So there's a myriad of different ways you can really customize the boat for exactly how you want it to look. But a really, really nice setup. It does exactly what it's supposed to, provides tons of coverage, a lot of functionality, but it's also really stylish. I talked a little bit about ease of maintenance, how important that is, and check this out. This is how it's accomplished in the bilge for us. So we have an electrically adjusted back hatch. You see basically the whole back end of the boat opens up. It provides a very large open space to get into that bilge, so you can do maintenance on your pumps, your macerators, all that kind of stuff. As we get it open, you'll see here it's very well laid out. It's easy to understand. Everything is labeled. Just super, super clean, and a great way to access all of it. Some other important things to know about the back end of the boat here, and it's something that you really should take into consideration looking at boats, is this area, transition area right here, where you sort of enter and exit the boat from the water. First off, you want a nice wide opening like this, so it's easy to get through here. All right, if you're on a rocking or pitching boat or something like that, the wider something is to get through, the better. Also, you want an area back here that's nice and clean, no toe stubbers. We accomplish that by putting our nice telescoping ladder under a covered lid. Okay, nice, really nice as well, right at that ladder, to have a grab rail as you come on board like this, and then the perfectly situated freshwater shower here, which you can go ahead and pull out, go ahead and spray yourself as you get on board, and then walk nice and easily back into the boat comfortably, safely, and with no toe stubbers or awkward steps or anything like that. Another thing I didn't talk about as we went through the boat is, notice this door here. First off, it secures very nicely. It's latched very tight, but also all the parts are acrylic on the boat like this. There's no starboard on the boat whatsoever, so you're not going to have any worries about down the line yellowing or marring of the parts or anything like that. So all the components, the highest quality components you can possibly put on a boat. Last but certainly not least, let's talk about the engines a little bit. We offer the 200s and the twins, the inline fours, as you see here. We also offer the 250s on this package, and in addition, we're offering the new Yamaha 425 XTO as a single. More often than not, people choose the twin 200s because it's a great economical package. Top end, a little over 50 miles per hour. Mid-range, you're going to be probably right around 30, maybe a touch below. You're going to be burning probably 2.5 miles per gallon. So really, really great setup. The boat comes with a 189-gallon fuel cell, so you have plenty of range. It's just an excellent package to go to the islands or maybe out to the canyons or really cover some ground on a really long day. So we talked about the big water running capability in terms of the engine packages and the 189-gallon fuel cell. But another thing that makes this boat so great and has made it so successful is how the boat runs in open water. And the reason it runs so well in open water is because it has a 21.5-degree dead rise at the transom. So it has a nice V back there that makes it very soft. It's not such a deep V, however, that when you stop at the fishing grounds, you're going to pitch a lot. So it's a very stable platform. But in combination with that 21.5-degree dead rise in the back end, very sharp forward entry that cuts the waves really well, the variable dead rise as it comes back here. So So that tampers down those waves, makes it very soft as it gets back here to where you're going to be riding or spending most of your time. Also, you have that big bow fare floor that slices those waves and projects them out and pushes them away from the boat to keep you nice and dry. So between the engine packages, the fuel range, and then also that hull form, just an excellent open water boat. So I hope as I've walked you through this boat, you've seen why it's basically the top selling 28 footer in the country. And most people would just sit on their laurels and say, that's fine, we don't need to upgrade the boat. But we have upgraded it, and we've upgraded it in that great new console design, that layout with the windshield and the enclosure. It's just a really nice setup. So we've made the best even better. Do yourself a favor, go down to your local Cobia dealership, check this boat out in person, get out on the water. You'll really be glad you did.